Hey everybody, welcome to Here's Out. I'm Patrick.
And I'm Paul.
And we're going to talk about whether or not alter egos are actually worth it for heroes, or even villains for that matter. Less common. But like alter egos, are they worth it, Paul? Because in the history of comics and comic book movies and hero movies and all of these properties, there's two decisions that seem to be made. If you have a superpower, do you go for I am Bruce Wayne and I am Batman? Or do you just go right down the middle and go, hey, it's me all the time. That's who I am. And I can also do stuff that's a bit cool.
Yeah, this is a common kind of like, I guess, superhero trope. I will say that we also probably should say there's a possible spoiler somewhere in here, in the sense of us revealing a character's alter ego kind of thing.
Yeah, I guess.
If we get to, like, obviously we should be talking about characters that everybody knows, but if there are characters out here that people don't know about. But I get it. I get the there's multiple reasons why superheroes choose an alter ego. And I would say that it's generally, a lot of the times, it's not an alter ego in the sense that it's a character that they've made up. There's some character, like, it's their original identity that they're hiding, and then they're having the superheroes one. So like, it's keeping that separate. And
well, yeah, let's expand upon that. So what are our kind of big common ones? There's you are this person, then you gain a superpower, or like in the case of Superman, you're Clark Kent before you find out that you can fly or that you can, do anything that's super. You're Clark Kent. You're only a little baby. You don't know. Somebody's called you Clark. That's it. Bruce Wayne becomes Batman. I don't know how, again, because they've never shown it in movies. What really happened to him in an alleyway outside a theater. Someday they're going to do his origin story, Paul. Someday. Peter Parker, Spider-Man, gets bit. We all know that. So you can start off as yourself, or like, I guess I think the Tony Stark Iron Man's an interesting one, because he had a choice of, like, he's Tony Stark. And there is that moment, particularly in the Iron Man movie, how they end the movie, him going, I am Iron Man. Mm-hmm. He did that whole, I don't want this to be an alter ego. I want Tony Stark to be the cool guy who's also Iron Man. And I think that's interesting. I don't know if I agree with what the reasonings that people give for having alter egos. Sorry, you go first, though.
I was going to say there's also the opposite thing, which is like the Martian Manhunter, who becomes a human, who hides himself in a human. So he invents a character or an alter ego away from it. So there are those kind of things, which is you are something that has a super ability that comes to Earth or needs to hide and that kind of thing. So that's the alternative kind of other one, which is originals.
Good point.
The majority of the reason that the major reason that a lot of people choose to have an alter ego is the protection of people around them, because they're not super. That's the biggest thing, which is protection of other people around them. Using them against that kind of thing. So like, Aunt May or MJ being used against Peter Parker, Spider-Man.
I want to keep my friends and family safe.
Yeah, that's the biggest reason. The other reasons, which is the Batman reason for me, which is an interesting one, is that Bruce Wayne can do things that Batman can't.
Exactly.
Which is a more practical version of an alter ego kind of thing. And I will say that Batman's alter ego is Bruce Wayne. Like, as in Peter Parker and Spider-Man are very close together, but Batman and Bruce Wayne is definitely the alter ego. If he could walk around everywhere just in the cowl, he probably would, but Alfred would probably be like, have a shower.
So quit listening to that dark music, no more Cure for you. The fun thing there for me though, Paul, is, and everybody, like, I'm doing some of this just to piss you off and get some comments. No, I'm not. I mean all of this in a jovial way, though. I think I've got to keep my identity secret to keep you all safe. If there's one thing we friggin' learned, coincidentally, in almost every comic story or every superhero story, it's like, okay, I'm Spider-Man. I don't want anybody to know I'm Peter Parker because MJ might be in danger. Perfect. Yet weirdly, if they pick somebody random off the street, even if they don't know Peter Parker as Spider-Man, how many times has it been MJ that randomly got snatched because she happens to be hanging around? So I'm having fun with this, Paul, because that is like percentage of keeping them safe. I get it. But my God, there's a huge amount of, is it really worth it? Because every freaking time Aunt May or MJ or whomever it might be for that particular hero, would you just don't be around me when I'm working, or just maybe don't hang around with Peter Parker anymore. Like if I wanted to keep them safe at this point, I'd be like, I'm staying out of your lives completely. I'd be that kind of superhero. Because at least then you won't be around when Doc Ock comes to like pick a fight.
Well, that's the what I like about that decision, specifically about the Tony Stark decision of just outing himself, for two reasons. One, it's very practical.
Oh yeah,
you don't have to live a double life kind of thing, and two, it's a very character driven decision to do that, which is very fun to see in a character kind of thing. But I do get your point in the sense that, like, you know, more than likely because they are like, Clark Kent. Like Lois Lane puts herself into dangerous situations because she's a reporter.
Her
she's,
job,
an investigator. Yeah, she's very dedicated and very good at her job and everything like that. So obviously she constantly is in the face of Lex Luthor, kind of thing. So like there, it's kind of like, I guess the only people then you're probably protecting is probably like Ma and Pa Clark, like Kent, kind of thing. But protecting people around you, like I think. My element is if you get to a certain power level, then who cares?
True. Good point.
Like
Actually,
if you're Superman, then I'm like, why would you? I guess it's like, once again, because he originally was Clark Kent.
Yeah.
It becomes a little bit more difficult. But yeah, it's kind of once you get to a certain power level, I'm like, who cares? I'm so powerful, like.
But you know, the reason that's rarely given, and the one that I buy a lot more, is star power. It is mentioned now and again, you know, that having the nobody alter ego is great because you get to experience life and you get to live a normal life. And, you know, often it's said you get to love somebody, and, you know, it allows you to have that kind of normal life also. And I think the clever writers over the years have gone, well, you know, the alter ego, as in the regular everyday person, keeps you grounded in humanity and doesn't let your superness take you away. And I think that's where it's really interesting that you say Batman would be walking around in the cowl and wouldn't bother with the, philanthropic Wayne Enterprises party boy stuff, you know, keeping up an appearance. So okay, Paul, it's time. I'm giving you what superpower do you want? You get to choose. You can have two or three. So I'm not asking what's the best. What would you like? A wee power set.
We'll just go for the powers of Superman.
Okay. So you've got Superman powers tomorrow. So you're like a much better Black Adam. Okay. Because you'll make full box office. Sorry, Rock. I'm still poking fun. Would you, if you had those powers, would you be like, right, I am number one? Would you want to become a superhero, or would you be supervillaining it?
Oh, superhero.
Okay, then, because supervillains don't tend to bother with an alter ego; they just go for full change.
This is I have an interesting point about villains, but go ahead. Yeah, but
so
no,
would you bother with an alter ego? I guess.
I think I would if it was this. Like if I was struck by lightning and given Superman powers today. Yeah. I probably would, and I do think that the protection part would be very important to me, kind of thing. I don't think I'll point it out. I don't think I'll be a superhero. I don't think I have the. I think I've become an anti-hero because I think as a normal human being given godlike powers, I think I'd probably become. I have a strong morality, but I don't think I have strong enough to be like Superman. Right. Yeah, I think the protection, I think the normality of the world of trying my everyday life and protection of my loved ones would be the two top concerns of me. If I was Iron Man, I would. If I was Tony Stark, or like had
If your
super
privacy was
intelligence.
already a thing of the past, sure, what would you be
Yeah,
losing? Yeah.
I would be very much just like, nope, I'm going to,
Yeah.
I'm already exposed. Like, I'm already a celebrity or something like that. I would definitely
Yeah.
just like, what's more, what's add one more notch on the belt of, my celebrity stardom.
I think
What about you?
I think my answer would be similar insofar as I think I would. Um, and again, in the Stark scenario, no, for the same reasons you just gave. Um, I would, yeah, I'd also go for the basics of anonymity and extra ease of protection of those around me, so that there wouldn't be natural targets. But the minute it became hassly, like the minute it became really a big pain in the arse, and it was starting to become more hassle to keep the secret identity secret, I would probably go, you know what? Screw it. I'm actually just going to be outed. And as many of the comic book stories, people do find out that Peter Parker is Spider-Man. People do find out.
Yeah.
There's precedent for it. But I guess for me, Paul, yeah, I would, until it became too inconvenient to keep it up. If it was stopping me from doing things that I thought were right, that I had a responsibility to do, I think it's at that point to be like, oh, I couldn't save an entire country's, from nuclear explosion here because I was too distracted trying to protect my anonymity. I'd be like, okay, it's time.
Yeah.
But yeah,
Y- Yeah, I definitely get that kind of element to it. My other thing is, would you tell your significant others? Would you tell the surrounding, like your
well,
close knit group of friends or family members that
some
you
yes,
are
some no, and at least one of them wouldn't need to be told because that woman can already read my friggin' thoughts, dude. So
yeah,
like,
so yeah, but that's my thing, because like if you were completely, because don't forget that Superman and Clark Kent for a while didn't ever tell Lois the fact,
yeah,
like Lois was dating Superman, but
yeah,
never
which is kind of
kind of
creepy
thing.
in some ways when you say it out loud. But yeah.
Well, my thing is that double life element to it,
Mhm.
where it becomes more inconvenient of essentially you just lying to a loved one.
Oh yeah,
Like that's where I would also draw the line, in the sense of when essentially it becomes like
yeah.
cheating on them. I would be very much like, nope.
But Paul, I guarantee you, dude. I get bit by the radioactive spider, and I just walk downstairs the next day thinking I'm not going to say anything about it. Like the fridge would be open, the fridge would close. There'd be one look at me, and it'd be like, "You have superpowers, don't you?" I'd be like, "How? How did you know?" The face you're pulling. I mean, it would be a waste of
Yeah.
time me trying to keep it. I wouldn't keep it from you either, because I would have to bring it out because we'd all of a sudden be using it for promotion and we would have more subscribers, which is a great way to segue to like, subscribe, and share, everybody. There you go. Got it in early. So, Paul, you
I
had a closing thought because I want to hear your
The villain
interesting
one.
one on villains. Yes.
So here's the interesting one on villains. Villains tend to have an alter ego, so similar for the reason of Batman, in the sense that there's things that they can do as a public figure than they can do as a supervillain figure.
Yeah.
The other ones is gloating. The amount of times that people have used their alter ego to gloat to the superhero. Hush from Batman is a
Yeah.
huge big one, because a huge big one that does it, which is on a couple of other characters, specifically from the Batman series, does gloat, and I would say Superman as well. But they specifically use their alter ego to essentially gloat, kind of thing, which is a big superhero kind of, or supervillain kind of element to it.
And nothing
You
makes
know?
you more of a villain than being petty. All right,
Oh
kids?
yeah,
The more you know. This is your lesson from Hear Us Out this week, little kids. For all you people that have been gathered round that are under the age to hear me have used the language that I've probably used already. Don't be petty. It's the
yeah.
behavior of supervillains.
But yeah,
Also,
no,
brush your
it's
teeth. Sorry.
I would say that, yeah, that's the biggest reason why villains tend to have it, is
Yeah.
convenience of public view, and also, yeah, just have that moment where the character suddenly realizes who you really are, and have that moment across the room where you're just like,
Yeah,
you
one
know,
cat stroke away from a spinning chair. I absolutely love it, Paul. Anything else you want to get in there?
no,
Then I'm just going to let the people know. Get yourselves down in the comments. Tell us why we're right, wrong, and in the middle. And let us know if you would actually go for an alter ego. Or if any superheroes are watching and want to out themselves here on Hear Us Out, more than welcome. But only if you like, share, and subscribe. All right, everybody. I have been Paul. I have been Patrick. I alter egoed.
Yeah, I was thinking that you were actually doing that on purpose, and I was just like, oh no.
I thought of doing it, and then I did it too casually. I was like, I didn't give him any warning. Sorry.
I'm Patrick.
And I'm Paul. And reverse that for the truth. And we're Hear Us Out. We'll see you next time.
Bye.